Landscaping work included the removal of trees and brush-tangled areas, laying out of drives, and the construction of rock retaining walls. Stone used on the walls and shelter house was excavated from a cave near the park site. Several small bridges were built over a creek which runs through the park. Native stone was also used extensively in improving the appearance of Riverside Park. A swan pool was constructed of stone to add to the scenic value of the park, which already had a monkey island and numerous pens for wild animals. Ruble masonry retaining walls, fountains, a rock-encased island, and plants and shrubbery were included in the construction of the swan pool. One of the interesting improvements at this park was a log cabin lodge which was built of native materials. Logs which still retained the bark were used for the body of the structure. The floor is of flagstone, and the shingles clapboards. All materials were obtained on the park property, the clapboards being made at the building site. A fireplace was provided in one end of the lodge and an elevated stage in the other to provide for entertainment. The chimney and fireplace are of native stone laid in decorative patterns, as is the foundation. For several years, the abandoned sand pit of a bankrupt sand-producing company, located on the southeastern edge of the city of Sterling in Rice County, has been used as a dumping ground for the refuse of the city, creating an eyesore that was not at all typical of an otherwise progressive little town. The 8-inch intake pipe of this hydraulic dredge, submerged below the water, sucked in sand and water which was carried through several hundred feet of pipe to the delivery end, where it was deposited over the surface of the old refuse piles. In this manner, 30,000 cubic yards of sand was delivered from the distant sand piles at the rate of 1 carload every 20 minutes. Along the water's edge, covering the area over which the flowback traveled, straw was used to restrict the flow of the water and to cause the sand to settle rather than be carried by the water back into the lake. The sand pump and all necessary operating equipment was purchased by the city from the bankrupt company, and with the aid of a work relief project, work was started to convert this unsightly public nuisance into a recreation spot that could be enjoyed by young and old alike. Approved in April 1935, this project will prove of lasting benefit to the citizens of Sterling. The pool dimensions are 60 feet wide by 135 feet in length. Fully illuminated, even to the extent of submarine lights, the water has a clarity at night equal to that of the daytime. The water is in constant circulation through filtration plants, which keeps it as pure as that used in homes for drinking purposes. A number of these swimming pools have been constructed under the Emergency Relief Program, and in all cases they have been enthusiastically received and attended and are self-liquidating. In Wyandotte County, the Kansas City Park Commissioners have been active in creating and improving needed outdoor recreational facilities for its citizens through the use of the Work Relief Program. No time was lost in opening projects under the Civil Works Program. At its conclusion, the county and state work relief programs were instituted to take over and complete the works. Big 11 and Klamm Parks are two of those in which considerable labor was expended in landscaping, terracing, and the building of retaining walls of natural rock, as well as improving the already existing facilities. The natural response to these improvements has been more than necessary to indicate that there is an appreciation by those living in the city for a place of rest and relaxation. During the past summers, these parks afforded the only relief from the extreme heat and allowed persons the necessary rest required to carry on in their daily tasks. All stone used was quarried nearby and laid by unskilled workmen under skilled supervision.